Welcome to Horntie Studios and another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder. That means each one of these is less than 666 seconds or 11 minutes and 6 seconds. So not a lot of time, as you know. Let's get started. Talking Idaho 4 again. And this is a person that has come up quite a bit in the comments of my videos, so I wanted to get to him eventually. And here we are. We are talking about Jack DuCoeur tonight and some questions about him, and we're going to bat it around. But keep in mind, important, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. These are just my opinions, speculation. I'm not saying anybody's guilty of anything. We're just having a conversation. So that's all this is for. Entertainment purposes only. Okay, so what do we know about Jack DuCoeur? Let's start with that, okay? So we know that he was the ex-boyfriend of victim Kaylee Gonzalez. They went out for 5 years and split up just weeks before the event that happened on King Road. We know that Jack and Kaylee owned a dog together named Murphy, and Kaylee was taking her to Texas with her when she was moving. And currently now, after this incident, Jack has the dog. We know that Moscow PD cleared Jack pretty fast. And the Gonzalez family came out very publicly and said, you know, they supported him and he was not involved. We know that he was an engineering student at the University of Idaho and that he lived within a 30-second walk of the house on King Road. And I'm not sure where he is right now, but he's lawyered up apparently. And honestly, that's the smartest thing for him to do. I mean, anybody involved in this that's not lawyered up is stupid, because that's just common sense to me. I get that it's frustrating and it gives the air of guilt, but honestly, I mean, you can't say anything without stepping in it. So we know that his alibi, though, is that he was sleeping during the time of the incident. But earlier in the night, he's seen at the corner club talking with the girls, and he's there apparently till 1:30 a.m. So what time did he get home, and how fast did he fall asleep if he was already asleep when this stuff was going on? His roommate, Adam Lauda, was also there at the corner club. He's the bartender, so he was there as well. We know that from Kaylee's sister, who went through Kaylee's phone after this, found that there were multiple calls made to Jack D from 2:26 a.m. to 2:52 a.m. 6 calls from Kaylee, and then Maddie placed 3 additional calls in this time frame. No answer for any of their calls, so almost 9 calls, no answer. I also believe that there was no call back from Jack to either of their phones the following day. I heard that, but I don't have any documentation of that. But if that's true, I mean, who wakes up with that many missed calls and isn't making a phone call to find out what happened, unless you already know what happened? And that's a whole different conversation. So what we don't know about Jack, that so many of us would love to know, is what Kaylee meant by asking Maddie in that video what she told Adam, talking about Adam Lauda. Maddie's response was she told him everything. Now remember that Jack Showalter was walking with them. I did another video about Jack, and he said something to the effect of, they're going to get you for that. Now, how is this not number one on somebody's list to find out what he meant by that? What was he talking about? Getting them for what? I mean, these are huge questions that if they weren't answered, I don't know what else to say about it other than what the hell. We know that Adam and Jack D were roommates, but we don't know what he was told by Maddie. So huge questions here. We've seen pictures of a car that looks like a white Elantra parked at Jack's house. But I'm not sure who owns that car. But it sure seems to me that there is an abundance of small white cars that look awfully close to, if not are, Elantras. Just saying. And many of the viewers have commented about Jack D and Murphy making the suggestion that, you know, the person that did this, or one of the persons that did this, would have had to have had a good rapport with that dog so she wasn't barking like crazy. And of course, the person she would have known the best would have been Jack D. Now, I'm sure there were others that knew that dog, so I'm certainly not saying that's a, you know, slam dunk or anything like that, but it's certainly just something to mention, because that, you know, does definitely weigh in the conversation. There were some barks heard, but I don't think the type of barking you would have heard if there were intruders in the house doing what they were doing with screaming and everything going on. I can't imagine that dog wouldn't have been barking a lot more than that. Another thing about Jack D that we knew of, that he would have obviously known this house very well and would have more than likely known the passcode to get in the door, especially the front door. Beyond that, I don't know. And did Jack possibly look at the grub truck video and maybe didn't like something that he saw on that? I don't know. Or was the move to Texas really bothering him and he just kind of, you know, flipped out? I mean, we just don't know. Or was it related to what Maddie told Adam? I think that's just such a huge part of this case. So why would he have left two in the house, you know, to survive, you know, especially that they would have known him? So that certainly poses a question. And that's why I think that possibly those two weren't even at the house when this happened. Either they weren't there at all and they showed up the next morning, or they were there and then left as soon as it was going on. Several of the commenters on my videos talked about that thing I mentioned with the film class that said they saw a woman running from the house. I've heard it's Bethany. I've heard it's Dylan. I'm not sure. I haven't had a chance to take a look at the videos to look at that stuff again. And the other thing is, you know, why is there a gag order in this case? I mean, who are they protecting? We should be able to hear these 911 calls. We should be watching police interrogations of these people we're talking about. Lists of legitimate evidence. I mean, all of that kind of stuff. Think about any current case that you've followed. Have you ever heard of something like this going on? I personally have not. So I just think this is crazy. And the fact that they said they didn't record the interview they did with Brian Kohberger, I mean, are you kidding me? That just sounds insane to me. And it makes you wonder if the fix is in here. I hate to think of that, but it just stinks of that. And I know a lot of you guys, you know, have been saying the same kind of thing. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are. I always love to look at the comments, and I really do appreciate those of you that leave the comments, because there's some really, really good stuff in there. Now, I did want to mention I just started a membership on the channel for $1.99. If you're interested, it's up to you, of course, but you know, if you click the join button, you'll see the list of the perks and stuff, but it's $1.99. You're going to get my videos as soon as I upload them instead of waiting for them to come out. Sometimes they're uploaded days before they come out. So that'll be kind of a cool feature, I think, for those of you that really like the content that I've been putting out. And also shout outs to the members as part of the perks. And so in complying with that, I want to say thank you very much to the first three that have subscribed to the membership, and that's Glowy, Justine Cooper, and Jennifer. So thank you very, very much. And thank you all very much. I appreciate you guys checking out another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder. And if you like what I do, You can follow me every week on the Murder Metal Mayhem podcast, and a lot of you have been telling me you've been checking that out, so that's awesome. And you can get all those details below, contact information and all of that. So thanks again, and we'll see you guys soon.